Hello everybody, I hope everyone is doing well. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a full face of Charlotte Tilbury. I have this beautiful box here full of cute rose gold packaging. I'm really excited to try this all out today. Charlotte Tilbury is a brand that I haven't really tried out much from, but in the last couple of months I've been really starting to fall in love with her products, so I'm really interested to see how this turns out today. A lot of this was sent to me in PR and a few things were purchased by me. So with that being said, let's just get into it. But before we do, I would love for you to subscribe if you aren't already. It would mean so much to me, and let's get to it. So first thing I'm gonna go in with is the Charlotte's Magic Cream Instant Turnaround Moisturizer. It smells so incredibly good. I don't know, it smells like maybe one of my mom's products she used to use when I was younger. It just reminds me of my mom for some reason. I have my computer pulled up right here just so I can get more information on the products if I haven't used them before. But this one I have used once and it is really fantastic under makeup. But I'm gonna go in with a little bit of that and apply it everywhere. It says it's an anti-aging moisturizer with hyaluronic acid. I like the way that this feels. It feels really nice and like soft, but also not heavy at all. It feels very lightweight on the skin and it leaves just like a perfect amount of hydration. And now for a primer, I have kind of two that she has. She has the Wonder Glow as well as the Flawless Filter. I was just looking at the differences of these online and they seem to be like a same but different kind of product. Their descriptions both say that they create an instant soft glow focus. I've never tried the Flawless Filter yet, I just received it. So I'm just gonna swatch them both on the back of my hand so I can see kind of the difference. There are more shades in the Flawless Filter, whereas the Wonder Glow there's only one. I have the shade 3 Light Medium in the Flawless Filter. Here they are side by side, so they are quite different. This one has like more of a pinky silvery reflect to it, whereas this is like a really nice warm goldy shade, and it has more of like a dewy finish where this is more of like a highlighter. And you can use this as a highlighter, a glow booster. You can mix it in with your foundation. You can use it kind of as a foundation apparently. So this is kind of more versatile in that sense, and this is pretty much an all over face base. I'm gonna go in with both. I like the all over glow that this will have, and I'll put this on the high point since it's a little bit more reflective and intense. I'm gonna go in with about that much with the Wonder Glow. I just like this one because it does have a golden hue and it kind of adds some warmth. I always love that. And now on the high points of my face, I'm gonna go in with the Flawless Filter. I'm just gonna kind of apply it like a underneath foundation highlighter. So I'm just gonna go a little ham in the areas where I want to appear glowy. Just watch me paint it all over my face. So I'm just gonna blend it out with my finger. I feel like I've just really gotten into her brand recently just because my kind of focus has shifted more towards skin. In the beginning of my like YouTube and Instagram, I was really eye focused, but I really started to fall in love with doing base makeup and so on and so forth. So I think that's why I'm quite a bit more interested in her products, because I think she does a really good job at the complexion portion. And for some reason, her eye products never really struck me beforehand. I'm not sure why, but who knows. But so far, really liking how that base is looking. Now I'm gonna go into the Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This is the shade 6 Warm. So this foundation here is a full coverage and matte foundation. So something that's not really my preference, but I'm obviously going to review it as a matte and full coverage foundation. I'm gonna see how this is. I don't really have any full coverage foundations. This has taken a lot of pumps to get it going. I don't have any full coverage foundations in my collection really, so maybe this one will be a good addition to really round out my collection. I'm still going, by the way. Hello? Please. I think I got a dud. I'm gonna have to break into this through the straw. That's kind of annoying, but I just took some through the straw on the back of my hand. I'm just gonna apply it with my favorite Royal Langnickel complexion brush. This seems to be a little bit yellow, but we'll see. I could probably go a shade lower than this one just because this one seems to be quite yellow on my skin, but we'll see once it kind of settles. I hope it will kind of adjust while it dries, maybe, hopefully. Because right now I look kind of mustardy, but we'll see. I'm now gonna go over everything with my beauty blender, as always, just to get more of a skin-like finish. I am happy that I went in with those glowy products to begin with, because this does look like something that would kind of fit my preference, because the finish of it, like looking at my skin up close, it looks fantastic for the amount of coverage that I have on there. It looks quite flawless, and it doesn't even look like I'm wearing much foundation. So this is really promising so far. I'm just gonna add a little tiny bit more right here. I was going in a little light-handed just to see like what a really thin amount would do to my acne scars right here that I have. But I'm just gonna build it up in the areas where I want a touch more coverage, but this is looking really nice for a matte and full coverage foundation. I've never had any good experiences with any full coverage matte foundations. Like they all look quite cakey on me or detectable on the skin. This one pretty much does not. And I really like the way it looks with the Flawless filter and the Wonder Glow underneath. I think that is a beautiful finish. So for my concealer, I'm gonna go in with the Magic Away Liquid Concealer. And this is a product that I've had in my collection for probably upwards of 6 months. The only issue that I have with this is I can never frickin' open it. Do you guys experience this? Like for real? It gets kind of messy and gross to look at. It is a really fun application. This is definitely for personal use. If you're a makeup artist and you have this, fired? You'd be fired. And a lot of her products actually have this spongy applicator. It's a really fun experience. It's definitely not the most hygienic, but I'm going to be blending it out with a beauty blender. This one's a little bit light for me, so I'm going to be quite highlighted under there. I have the shade 3 Fair. And I do really like this concealer. I've used this so much. I'm like over halfway done this bottle. It is a beautiful finish, and I love how it's quite buildable as well. And you can go in with like a sheer amount or however much you want to apply under there, and it never looks cakey or detectable under there. The only thing though, if you use it consistently, I bet you would run through this thing like crazy, because I don't use this every day, but every time that I do, I feel like I go through quite a bit of it, and I don't really go in with that much. Oh, I forgot I wanted to kind of color correct my under eyes a little bit because I did not get enough sleep last night, but that's okay. I just wanted to quickly mention that this is my favorite like under eye and blemish corrector. If I feel like I want to go in with a corrector, this is such a good one. I used the shade 1 Fair. And now for a little bit of powder. I haven't tried this product out, but apparently this is fantastic. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish, the Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. I have 1 Fair. I'm just gonna lightly set under my eye. That's it so far, because I am going to go in with some cream products later on. I'm going to take my Pat McGrath eye setting brush. It really does look airbrushed. So I'm just going to put this to the side for right now, see if I feel like setting anything later on, but right now everything looks really nice, and my skin does have like more of a natural finish towards it now with the combination of those glowy products in the foundation. So I feel like I don't really need to set anywhere else, but so far this is really nice, and I see why it's such a fan favorite. That is beautiful. Before I move on to bronzing up and contouring and all of those things, I'll give you a nice close-up so you can see my skin texture and how everything's laying on top of it. Everything looks really nice. This is the contour one. I like barely ever contour on here. It's just a step that I've been kind of falling out of love with, but this is a product that has been hyped for a very long time on the internet. I'm gonna just try it out on the cheekbones first. I'm not gonna carry that anywhere else at the moment. We'll see how this goes. It kind of pulls a bronzy tone actually. This is a Royal Langnickel something brush. Contour. Perfect. I'm just doing little dabbing motions just to kind of distribute that product, and then I'll go into little circular motions just so that we don't get a harsh line. That's actually a fantastic color. I feel like it's kind of like a bronzer and contour kind of mixed together. I feel like that looks really nice. So at the beginning of May, I tried out this right here, the Film Star Bronze and Glow from her, and I did really enjoy the formulation of the bronzer. The only issue I had was it was way too red, and it had kind of like a gray undertone to it as well. Like it didn't pull a flattering shade on me at all, but which was really sad because the formulation is beautiful. But then she came out with these this month, which was perfect timing. This bronzer right here, the airbrush bronzer. I use this shade medium 2, and I have been using this like crazy. It is beautiful and truly looks airbrushed on the skin. It's probably starting to become one of my favorite powder bronzers in my collection, and you get so much product in here, and it's such a beautiful package. Like it looks like a beautiful little shell. We're just gonna be very chiseled and bronzed today, I guess. I'm also gonna bring this across my nose in the wave technique. And I'm bringing the bronzer kind of higher up, pretty much where I highlight, just so that we get a more natural bronzed application. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. That's just how I've been using my bronzers lately, especially since I do kind of have a natural tan going on. But I bring that on the chin as well, just a touch of it, and then on my forehead. I just pretty much used a bronzer as a setting powder, but I like it. But yeah, I have been so in love with this bronzer recently. This is probably gonna be one of my top favorite products of the day. It excites me so much, and it's so worth it for me. I love it. For the contour wand, I'm pretty impressed with it so far. I was actually surprised that it wasn't really ashy on me for some reason. I don't know why, but it totally blew me out of the water. It looks fantastic. I'm gonna have to try it out a little bit more. I might be braver next time and apply it just as my bronzer on my forehead and across my nose a little bit. So I have this highlighter, which is the same type of deal as the contour wand. This is just the Glowgasm Beauty Light Wand. This is a horny product, and it's in the shade Pink Gasm. I really don't like when beauty products are named after sexual terms like that. I don't know why. So that's, I'm guessing, supposed to be like a highlighter, but it looks quite more like a blush to me. So maybe I could use it as a blush, a higher up blush and highlighter combo. I'm gonna do that because I'm kind of not a fan of the highlighter that's in here. It's way too intense for me, and just something that looks a little artificial on my skin tone because it pulls a little chalky for me. So I'm just gonna skip that along because I already know I'm not a fan of it, and I'm going to try a combo of these. I'm going to be blending that out with my Melt Cosmetics 777 brush. That combo, okay, I see myself using this a lot, especially in the summertime. That is so freaking cute. I love the tone of that pink in there. It just has that kind of sunburny tone to it, you know, that I love so, so much. It looks very beachy to me. Where you really need to look corrected and flawless and stuff, that's what this whole look is looking like right now. But this is the first product that kind of gave me more of that everyday beachy look, and I see myself using that a lot more often. And I like how as a multi-purpose step, I blushed and highlighted my cheeks at the same time. So now I'm going to move on to the eyes. And I am going to prime my eyes and do my brows off camera, so please enjoy the brow intermission. Okay, so the eyebrows and primer are on. I used the CoverFX concealer as my eye primer just because I've had a lot of success with it recently because it is a little bit more of a matte concealer, and I really like how it just blanks out my eyelids, so I have like a nice clean canvas. I only have this Charlotte Tilbury palette. This is the palette in the Rebel, and it has just like bluey green shades in here. It looks really good with my eye color. I don't know if it's the best representation of her eyeshadows, but we shall see. I've never used it before. I am looking at 2 of her little quads that she just recently came out with. It's like a peachy one. It has like a matte shadow and 3 other shimmers, and then there's this other matte one that she came out with that has all 4 mattes. I think those 2 palettes would be such a great addition to my everyday makeup bag, but for the time being I only have this guy here. So I'm first going to take a little bit of the bronzer that I used all over my face and just put it all into my crease just to define it a little bit and carry on that bronzy look towards the eyes. And now I'm gonna take this Smith 253 brush, and I'm first gonna go into this shade right here, the lighter green. It looks like this is just more of a satin. It doesn't have much glitter in it. And I'm gonna use that in the inner portion. I'm actually gonna take my finger and kind of pack it onto the mobile lid right here. And then I'm gonna take a smaller blending brush. This is a Royal & Nickel Balm 17. I'm gonna dip into that shade and just kind of scatter it around in the crease a touch. And then I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna go into the more blue shade. I believe it's called Smoke. Really pretty, like teal. And I'm gonna place that on the outer portion. And I'm gonna try to blend those two together. And I'm gonna take that blending brush that I was just using again. I haven't added any moisture to these at all, and this more blue shade right here is kind of already hard panning, so I just wanted to mention that. These do feel very creamy and like they do have some sort of cream inside, so maybe that's why I just compressed it. And then I'm gonna take that bright shade right here, and I'm gonna kind of place it right there just to kind of brighten up the eye. I feel like that looks really nice. And then it's like a better transition between the two. I might carry that along the lower portion as well in the same order. So I'm just gonna start off with the deeper color. I'm gonna bring that right here. That same Smith 253. Just flipping it on its side though, so I just get a little bit more control. I'm just gonna dampen my brush with some Fix Plus just so that I don't get that pigment in my eyeball anymore, because that's how I get watery eyes and I don't feel like dealing with that today. And then I'm going to wipe off my brush, flip it over, and use that lighter green. This is a really pretty green. It kind of reminds me of that sagey color that's super in right now in decorating houses. I'm just gonna wipe the brush off for a third time and go into the highlighting shade and apply it right in between the two. And then with my finger, I'm gonna take that light shade and pop it in this inner corner. That turned out really cute. This blew me out of the water. I was not expecting it to turn out this cute. I'm just gonna refine the edges. I do have a little bit of fallout, but I think that was my mistake when I went in with the dry eyeshadow on the lower portion because I was blinking lots. So I'm just gonna go repeat this to the other eye and I'll be right back. So here are the eyes with just eyeshadow. I really like how they turned out. It's something quite different from what I usually do since it's all shimmers across the lid without any mattes except for the crease color, which was just my bronzer. I didn't try this shade right here just because it has a little bit more glitter and it's a little bit more of a mossy teal, but I'm going to swatch it here so you can see what it looks like. It's a very nice and soft formula. There it is on my hand right there. That is stunning. Now for my mascara, I'm going to go in with the Full Fat Lashes, the shade Glossy Black. I am going to curl my lashes first. And this mascara, when I first tried it in one of my first impressions video or new products video, it didn't really do much for my lashes, and then it started to thicken up and I tried it again and I absolutely loved how it looked. So this is just one of those mascaras that get better with time in my opinion. And here are the eyes all finished. I can say that I really love how these turned out. This mascara does a really fantastic job at volumizing them for sure, and it just looks really nice and put together. To finish off this look, going into the lips, I think it's a no-brainer to go in with the Pillow Talk combination. I'm going to be using the lip liner as well as the lipstick, just because this is one of her most well-known products. I love her lip liner formulation. I'm quite brand new to it, but the one I've been using like crazy this week has been Iconic Nude. It's such a great lip liner. I adore it. It's a really nice matte formula, but it glides on really effortlessly. I'm gonna go into the Pillow Talk lipstick. I barely go in with any pinks. On my lips, I usually do more peachy colors, but this is a really cute color. I can see why it's so popular. there is the final look. I really love how this turned out. It's kind of a little bit more editorial feeling, I guess. Maybe just the blush is a little bit much with this, but I adore how everything looks. Personally, I really love everything. I think it looks fantastic, especially on camera and in person as well. Just the foundation is a little bit dark for me, but other than that, everything looks really flawless. So I'm now going to go into my final thoughts about everything, and it's kind of crazy because there is nothing that I tried out today that I dislike. There's nothing that I wouldn't really recommend. There's just a few things that I'm unsure about. We'll see as time goes on, but a lot of these things I already really enjoy or love, and that is super rare. I don't think that's ever happened to me in one of these full face videos. I think I'm gonna first start off with things that I love. So of course, I love the glow giving bases. Would recommend both for sure. I've used this product longer, the Wonder Glow. I was quite new to it at the beginning of the month, but I've been using it like crazy throughout the month, and I would recommend it. It gives a really nice warm glow to your skin. There's no detectable glitter particles throughout it, so that just makes it really flattering and nice. And I do have a lot of lotion-y type products like this in my collection, but this one definitely stands out to me. For the Flawless Filter, I really love the idea of this. It's like a glow boosting product. This is a really nice versatile product, and I do finally understand the hype of it. I've wanted this product for so long, and I never pulled the trigger on it, but I finally got it, and I am very happy that I did. I think this is a fantastic product and probably one of my top favorites of today. And then another one of my top favorites of today was the bronzer, the new one, the Airbrush bronzer. This is such a fantastic formulation. I just can't get enough of it. I just love the way it applies, and once you apply it, it is so flawless. It does truly look airbrushed, and I do really like how it's quite buildable as well, so you can get multiple looks. And I'm so happy she came out with these because I was so saddened from my woes with this guy right here, but this hands down so worth it in my opinion. Definitely gonna be in my favorite bronzer video that is going to be coming out soon. And then going into this blush, I was very impressed with this. I don't like the name or how horny of a product it is, but on the cheeks it looks fantastic. I love how it is a 2-in-1 product. It highlights and makes me look very blushed at the same time, and I love the glow of it as well. I usually go for more peachy blushes or more nude blushes, but this is such a nice pink tone that I see myself using a lot. Another favorite of mine, and I've been loving this for a very long time, is the Magic Away Concealer. I would really recommend it. I just wish that there was a little bit more product in here and the packaging was a little bit different perhaps. But just speaking on the formulation, it is stunning. It always looks nice and flawless. It corrects just the right amount, and it doesn't look cakey, or it doesn't highlight those really fine lines that everyone has, and it doesn't crease a lot. So that's a really great thing about this concealer, and it's one of my favorites. I would see myself repurchasing this after I use it all up. I adore it. Another one of my top favorites of today was the mascara. I just really adore this mascara. It does a really nice volumizing effect without getting clumpy. It just makes the lashes look so flirty and cute without being overly long or overly volumized. It just is the perfect amount. I'm so happy that this got better with time. I think my last top favorite of today was the lip combo. I don't really use that many pinks on my lips, as you guys know, but this is one that I do see myself using a lot. It does have that nude undertone to it, that it's not too pink, but it's still very flattering, and I understand why Pillow Talk is so popular. It has such a nice formula as well. It's very lightweight on the lips. It's not too heavy. It doesn't accentuate the fine lines on my lips at all, and it's just a really nice creamy comfortable formula, which I adore. I want to try to pick up some more shades in these for sure. The packaging is so freaking cute. My two favorite lip liner shades in her collection are these two right here, Pink Venus and Iconic Nude. Those are my two most used, just because it's a brown tone nude and a peachy, as you guys know, but this far pink one is fantastic. And now moving into the products that I am kind of unsure about, but still was very impressed with how it wore today. First with the Magic Cream. I'm gonna start using this under my makeup more often now. This is a beautiful formulation. I love how it just adds the perfect amount of hydration without it being too much, and it does really make the makeup go on nicely. I do feel pretty plumped and such because it does have hyaluronic acid in here. This stuff is insanely expensive. So I have the little smaller jar, so I'm gonna really test this out. So I'm quite unsure about it right now, but speaking for it today, it looks fantastic. All of the new products that I'm going to be trying out will be in next month's roundup video, just so you guys know. But now moving on to the foundation. I do see myself leaving this in my collection. It's really nice for a full coverage matte foundation. It doesn't look textured in any areas whatsoever. It actually looks fantastic everywhere, or it doesn't even have any of those heavier cakey feelings or that matte feeling that makes you feel a little bit drier or aware that you're wearing foundation. I am going to try it a few more times, and I know this wasn't like my exact shade match, but I think it might match me once we're a little bit more into the summer, which is coming up soon. So we'll see how it works within then, and if I really like it, I might pick up another shade. But I'm really happy to have this because, as I said earlier, I don't have a full coverage foundation in my collection. For the setting powder, I was quite impressed. I see why it is very hyped on the internet and why people run through it like crazy. I am going to try it out more just because I didn't really give it the best shot today. I just set the under eye. I will try it again and I will update you, so that's why it's in my kind of unsure pile. The next one is the contour wand. I am going to try this alone and such because it is a really nice color. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be more of like a cooler undertone, but for me, I think that is like the perfect tone just to use as a bronzer and stuff. I'm just going to put this out to the side and I'm going to try that out by itself another time. I was just too excited to use the airbrush bronzer today as well. And the last product that's in here is the Rebel Luxury Eye Palette. The only reason it's in my unsure pile and I won't really super recommend it is because it's these kind of crazier colors, and I don't really see myself reaching for this palette much after this video. But this palette did convince me to buy those two other palettes that I have my eye on because I see myself using those tones a lot more than I would these kind of greens and such. I will keep it in my collection. I did have that one concern with the hard panning of this shade right here, so please in the comments down below let me know if that's something that happens with a lot of her eyeshadows, her more shimmery ones. I don't know. I really liked how these eyeshadows performed. I'm just not a super fan of the tones, I guess. But if it truly speaks to you and excites you and you see yourself using it a lot, go for it. Just for me, I don't really see myself using it too often. But speaking on formulation and things, stunning. I really love how this eye look turned out. Those are all the products I used today. I really hope this full face review helped you to navigate your decisions or anything like that. I am really thoroughly impressed with pretty much everything. I really adore how this turned out. So with that being said, that is all from me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you did, please give it a like. It would help me out so very much. I will make sure to link all of these products in the description down below as always, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Love you. Bye.